Hello, and welcome to the Hermit Lab. Today, you're in the powerhouse. This is number 4 of the one down section, so we'll be taking the one and done number 4 series and really dialing it down. Modifications, lots of support. Glad you're here. Hi, Marge. Welcome to your one down number 4. Nice to have you. We are going to be using 2 blocks, and it starts right out the gate. For integration, we'll be taking down dog. Take your blocks flat, as wide as your mat. Place your hands on top of them, send your hips up and back for down dog. Yeah, let the feet be wide. Work around some kinks and cracks, and then get settled and take 5 deep rounds of breath for your integration. Blocks are nice for making the arms just a little bit longer. This can also be nice if you have wrist issues. One more big breath in and out. Look forward, come down to your knees, and just send your blocks off to the side. Meet me in tabletop. Shift forward and lower all the way down to your front body. For awakening, we held up dog. We'll take a cobra, an easy cobra here. So legs as wide as your mat, hands right next to your ribs. Then using your back strength, peel your upper back up, and let's leave the eyes in line with the spine. So gaze is kind of down and out, engaging through the back body. No weight in the hands, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Nice. One more little push and then soften it down. Give yourself a wiggle. Let's stretch that out. Press up through a tabletop. Swing your toes together behind you. Take a little child's pose. Now giving into the rounding, the stretching, the releasing of the back. Roll yourself up to sit on your shins. And then rise up to stand on your shins. For vitality, we took crescent lunge. Step your right foot forward and we'll stay right here. Hands at heart center. And that's that. So to soften the depth in the front knee, scoot your front foot forward a little bit more. And really pull up through the front of the left hip, getting a nice active stretch in the front of the thigh. I used my hands reaching forward to kind of scoop myself out of this. And then we'll just change to the other side. Left foot steps forward. And rather than arms being overhead, take hands to heart center just to give the shoulders a bit of relief. Anjaneyasana, breathe here, crescent lunge. And help yourself out of this. Find your blocks, place them tall next to each other at the top of the mat. And then step on up, feet right behind them, nice and wide. Turn this into a halfway lift. And soften your knees, forward fold. Let's stand all the way up, tall mountain. Reach your arms out, leave them wide overhead. And gather hands at your heart. Tadasana, arms by your side. For equanimity, we are looking at airplane pose. So soften your knees, come forward. Hands will ground down onto the blocks right underneath the shoulders. Soften your knees, step your right toes back, and raise them behind you. Yeah, good squaring of the hip, toes pointed straight down, and use your arms like another set of legs beneath you for a supported airplane. Bend the knee to step it down. And we'll take another little interlude. Forward fold, release the back. Roll all the way up nice and easy. Tall mountain, arms wide overhead. Hands gather at your heart. And Tadasana, arms by your side. Let's go get that left side. Soften your knees, reach for your blocks. Let's keep the standing legs soft. And set the left toes back behind you. Raise up from the heel. Try to keep the hips square. And hang out right here with breath. Drawing navel up toward the spine. Yeah, good. And keep pushing away from your hands. And gently bend the knee, plant the feet, and soften into a fold. Rise yourself all the way up tall, reach your arms high, hands at your heart, and Tadasana, arms by your side. We'll move into grounding with a wide-legged stance. Bring a block with you in front of you tall. You can have a short stance here. We're working on Prasarita C. Arms out, turn the thumbs down to internally rotate the shoulders and catch your elbows behind you. Bend the knees slightly and fold. The block is there to catch the crown of your head, just to complete that connection from head onto something. It feels really nice too to press into it. You breathe. Keep the bind as you rise up to stand. Good. And release your arms out to a T. Hands at your hips. We'll come back to the top of the mat. Inhale the arms all the way up. Soften your knees, forward fold down the middle. You've got one block there if you want it to support a halfway lift. Plant your hands, come to hands and knees. For igniting, we'll look at camel pose, Ustrasana. I'm going to take a block and squeeze it between my thighs. I'm also going to tuck the toes behind me for a bit of extra support. And hands come to the lower back, whether you want fingers pointing down, fingers pointing up, or fingers out sideways. I'm going to stick with that one. Send the hips forward, squeeze the block, and start to take the eyes up. Being mindful of the neck. A gentle front body opener, assisted by squeezing into the block to engage. And let's help ourselves up and out. Relax your feet. Lose the block. And we'll set up for stability our core work. Crush your ankles, have a seat. And help yourself all the way down to the ground. We'll keep our head down and our hands down. Bend your knees. And we'll lower the legs with our bent knees just a little bit. And just a little bit more. Avoid your toes touching down. One more time, lower down. And you just come right back to the top. Zoop. This time, try on grabbing the sides of your mat for a little more support. And lower your knees a little bit. And a little bit more. And one more time. Good, come on back. And now extend the legs a little bit more so they're kind of a long bend. Keep holding onto your mat and lower them once. And again. One more time, maybe the toes touch down. And come all the way up. And that's that. Rock your knees side to side. And we'll meet up in a seat. Let's pass through a fetal position to make that happen and come on up. Nice. So we'll be looking at deer pose, finding a way to soften it here. Have a block with you, tall, to catch your forehead. Now, if this is not working for you hip-wise for the left hip, it's feeling kind of funky, help yourself by pulling your foot in a little bit closer to your butt. You can stay lifted, of course, or walk yourself forward, and there's the forehead to the block. Yeah, resting on your forearms, letting your forehead smooth itself out here. Breathe freely and easy. Help yourself back up, up, up. And we'll just change to the other side. Lean back onto your hands so that you can kind of wash your knees out one side and then the other. And we'll just end up facing the other direction for deer pose with our left leg forward and a block prepared to catch our head. You can go for this 90 degrees out to the side, but if that's funky on the hip or even the knee, oh yeah, I got a big bloody mosquito there. I was too late. Hug the foot a little bit closer to your seat. Stay up tall and lifted, or come forward and just like pour over and then connect to your block. Okay, start to help yourself up and just fall back one more time to swish out the knees. We're coming up on release, where we'll take a really softly revolved Janu Shirshasana. So end up with your two legs reaching forward. Hug your right knee in and let the foot fall to the inside of the thigh, and then open up your hips a little bit more. Left arm to the shin, twist over to the right. Or you can come to the forearm like you might in side angle. Right arm can reach up, and then finally I caught the back of my head to give my neck a little bit of ease. So I'm pushing down and away from the bottom forearm to spiral the ribs around. And then taking the right arm up and over is going to give you a nice side body stretch, subtle as it may be. Beautiful. Carefully make your way out. And send the right leg back forward. We'll take it on the other side. Left leg in and open the knee. And then open up the hips just a little bit more. Find your anchors, and we'll go right hand to shin, lean and gaze over the left. If you want a little bit more, do the forearm down on the thigh, left arm up, and lastly, feel free to go catch your head Lean back into it and puff up away from the bottom arm to spiral the ribs around and open up the sides as well. And come on back up. And we'll return the left leg forward. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. For rejuvenation, we are going to travel our way to the wall. So maybe you have to bring your mat with you, or you can just leave it where it is. And we'll do legs up the wall with a block here. So have a block a little bit far-ish away from the wall, so not like flush with the wall. And then I found an entry of kind of rolling through a fetal position and kind of scooching my way up and eventually getting my lower back on the block, the sacrum. I was lucky enough here to have a little perfect resting spot for my heels. And I like hands at the belly. You can drop them by your side and enjoy 5 deep, slow breaths here. And truly, why go anywhere else for Shavasana when we're so good right here? Get out any last fidgets and drop back in again. Shavasana. Of course, you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like if this rest really serves you. Otherwise, start to walk your feet down the wall a little bit. Push into your feet to slip the block off to one side. And then fall over one direction for a little fetal position before you make your way back up to a seat. Finding a block to sit on to raise the hips. Gather your hands together at heart center and take a big breath in, a soft breath out. A little drop of the chin toward the hands to acknowledge yourself. So sweet, so nice. Thank you for being here with me for this down. And I hope to see you at the next one.